clay and then you're molding the brand as to what you aspire. Brand management is about building a network of various tools, techniques, and channels working together.
Hello. I'm Kamlesh, and we have today Aishwarya with us. Welcome, Aishwarya.
Hi.
So, Aishwarya is somebody who has worked for more than 7 years. She has created brand content for multiple brands, and now she has taken a break to start as a brand manager. And she's doing an online course also. So, over to you, Aishwarya. Just tell us about what you've been doing in your life, a lot of interesting stuff that you've done.
Sure. So I started off as an intern long time back in 2019 as a motion graphic artist. And then I moved on to editing videos, and then I moved on to doing both. Then I started working with the marketing team much closely. Okay, so first, I started interning back in 2019 in an agency in Gurgaon. So they were into specifically event technology, right? So I would create social media content for them, and I started off as an intern. I started off as a motion graphic artist, later moving on to video editing as well, and then strategizing content in general for their marketing. So I would work very closely with their marketing team. I try to understand their requirements and get content related collaterals made by the team or even myself. So I would actually be doing a lot of content creation as well, and also managing a few team members.
Great. So,
Then
Yeah,
I
sure.
I even transitioned to learning Figma and a little bit of interaction design as well. So I did hop around within the organization in different departments and learned as much as I could as a creative person. Yeah.
Great. Tell me about the most exciting project that you have worked for.
Right. So, I think in 2024, we participated, as an organization, we participated in Auto Expo. So, I was given the responsibility to specifically design an AI photo booth for MG Motors. And surprisingly, it won the best award for the entire pavilion, so I'm happy for that. So in that, I designed the UI for the photo booth, and also each poster that would represent MG cars of that era. So
Okay,
we worked very closely with the client, and we used fair amount of AI tools as well, and I used Photoshop as well, so it was quite interesting.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
What would it be like? So, suppose I'm at that expo as a visitor. What would you have done?
Right. So our idea was that when people come to the expo, they would actually get their photographs clicked, and their photograph would be superimposed on those posters to make them feel like a actor or an actress in an MG ad.
Oh, I see.
So that was the concept.
You must have used fair bit of AI there.
Yeah,
right?
we did use AI tools. We used a lot of Photoshop, color correction, and studying what people would wear in that era. So if we have a car of, let's say, 1930, so I actually studied what people wear, and then I would give examples to our AI tools that, okay, these are the kind of clothes that people would wear. Can you generate characters based on the images we've given? So it was quite an interesting project of how, you've got human creativity plus AI tools coming together and building a really solid product, which
Awesome.
actually won an award for the brand. So it's fantastic.
Oh yes, absolutely. For somebody who's aspiring to have a career in marketing, more specifically brand management,
Right.
what would your advice be? In simple terms, can you explain what brand management is all about?
Totally. So what I did in the past 6-7 months is actually enroll in an online course. So I am enrolled in an online course by Mica, which is on strategic brand management and communication. So that is when I realized that actually events and even content, specifically social media for that matter, are very small chunks within brand management. It is such a huge umbrella term that starts from first understanding what a brand truly represents. What does it stand for? What is its promise, and what is its personality? And on the basis of that, you build the brand identity, you build the brand voice, you kind of carve its niche in the market. So it's like you have clay, and then you're molding the brand as to what you aspire, or at least what the founders have wished it to be. So during that course is when I realized that there is so much more that needs to be done in terms of learning for me. And from a brand management point of view, marketing and PR, these are all parts of what a brand of how a brand should appear in the public,
Right.
like, and how the public should also receive your message. That if you project yourself as ABC, in the public should feel that okay, this brand represents ABC. And that's a very important task, because how is it that you manage people's perception of you?
Yeah.
Getting feedback is equally important.
Sure. So I really
that
love.
is what I loved about it, because as content creators, the max feedback would get was likes, comments, and numerical. But sometimes, as a brand manager, you need to go deeper, and that deeper, the research level of understanding what you are, where you stand, what is your purpose, is what I loved about brand management as a subject. So that is why I wanted to, after okay, I've worked in events, I've worked in social media, let's move a little a step higher and start looking at the bigger picture, building a larger web, and try to understand how things actually correlate, how things work together. Because again, brand management is about building a network of various tools, techniques, and channels working together.
I really love the analogy of molding the clay.
Yeah.
Right, that's a lovely analogy. So now, which are your favorite brands?
So one of the favorite brands that I am really fond of is Myntra, because I mean, as a brand, it appeals to me, and it has categorized itself in various niches. So Myntra luxury appeals to a certain segment of people. Normal, your everyday Myntra appeals to some people. Myntra Forward, I think, the fast delivery system, it appeals to certain people. Then I'm fond of The Whole Truth, which I've even
Yeah, great
written
brand.
again a brand that is very true to its to its promise, and that is to deliver really clean products to its customers without preservatives, without additional colorants and sugar, which I think I mean, most of the brands would be afraid to take such a step, because they are too conscious about how the product tastes, whether or not it's actually healthy. Most of we are flooded by brands these days. So it is very important, and sometimes very hard for a customer to differentiate between what is actually right for them and what is being perceived as right for them.
Yeah.
What so if let's say you've got certain juice brands that claim to be real, claim to have 100% fruit juice, but are they actually healthy for us? Which again brings me back to another brand, which is Raw Pressery. Again, the very concept of the brand, that they directly deliver cold pressed juice to the customer, although the prices might be a little high, but it's actually healthy for you. So I like such brands that have certain ethics in place and are continuously working towards it.
Okay, so now your take. Okay, it's okay if it's controversial. I am a student in class 12th. I want to become a brand manager. I get an opportunity to just right away start working with, say, a brand like Myntra. Now, would you recommend that I directly join the company and gain work experience, or would you recommend me to go and study first, complete all my degrees, and then start working? What's
Now
your
that
take?
is actually a very interesting question, and I don't know if I'm qualified enough to answer this, because like I said, I'm from a content creator, I'm sort of transitioning towards brand management, and maybe if I crack it once, maybe if I'm given a sort of position or working with a brand manager directly, will I be able to answer? Because I have spoken to a few people. Yes, I mean, it does work out, but I mean, you will have to have some concrete work that you would want to show in your portfolio, whether it's assignments or you've managed a few brands in your hometown. What I've realized is, one thing is to get a formal education and then sit for placements. The other thing is to actually venture out, explore things on your own, which I've seen students do. Be very active on LinkedIn and actually get the best opportunity they can. and get the best job opportunity with the brands that they aspire to work with. So I've
Yeah.
actually seen both the things happening. So anything works these days.
Yeah, so sometimes-
As long as you get the job done, as long as you are true to who you claim to be and get the job done, I think it won't be a problem.
Absolutely. Sometimes there are no clear answers to questions, and something works for individual A and something else works for individual B. So in this case, there are no clear answers. So thank you so much, Aishwarya, for
Yeah.
coming here, and I hope the audience interested in brand management got bite-sized information about the career path. Thank you.